guys, Trav John coming at you with another Union Arena deck profile video. This video is going to be over Sukuna's Fingers. Now this deck is a fairly strong deck, and honestly I've really enjoyed playing it. I actually played it today during our locals. Didn't do me so great up against the Lancelot matchup, but overall great deck to play. So in this video what we're going to cover is I'm going to go over the deck summary. I'm going to talk a little bit about the matchups, what build I'm running, the strategy that kind of goes along with that build, some card swap modifications, because I know like Kento is a good version that to run with this as well, and then just kind of overall in general, like I have a graphic to show you guys with like general tips with this deck itself, as well as, you know, first 3 turns, just to kind of see how you would play it out. But yeah, hopefully enjoy, and yeah. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and let's just dive right into it here. So starting up here, we're going to go right into the deck summary here. So basically this deck is a maximum energy requirement of 5. Utilizes a lot of filtering to get 2 to 3 Sukuna's Fingers out. Like basically that's kind of what you're looking to do. Ideally you want to get 2 out as quickly as possible, and then getting that 3rd out really helps a lot, especially with the this shrine out on the field, right? So that once you get about 2 of them, this deck really comes online, if I'm honest. Like it comes really solid very quickly. This deck can definitely go the distance. It's not necessarily you gotta go quick or fast. It can kind of handle its own at the both like beginning, middle, and kind of endish, like longish type battles. Not so much against like Saitamas, for example. Like one punch, it's not gonna be a great matchup against, but overall in general, fairly good deck to play. It's really weak against cards that can remove your sideline. So for example, there are a few cards out there, and there's a few sets coming that will allow you to select a card out of an opponent's waiting room or sideline and then remove it. So it is kind of one of the situations where if you can remove set of like the fingers out of the deck, really cripples this one pretty fast. But overall in general, I think it plays very well. So as you can see here, I do have the graphic of the deck build itself. I also have EXPerts pulled up over here on the other side. We're going to go over this really quickly, the cards that I am utilizing, and then we'll talk about some other modifications, and then kind of go through some other cards in general, right? So starting up here, as you can see, we are running 4 of the UGs. Now the whole point of running the UGs is I was really trying to do is grab all 3 raid type targets to 1 base type target. So for example, I really wanted to grab all the UGs and go ahead and grab all the raids that could go on top of them, mainly just so that way I can just keep flooding the board, right? It's really nice when you have a lot of the raid cards that have the same raid bases, because usually you like to try to maintain that ratio, but this gives us a good like flexibility, especially with given the this Sukuna with the 5 energy here. The 5 energy isn't necessarily a hindrance, because there are obviously several of the 2 energy UGs out there, but being able to filter really quickly to get some fingers out or get a shrine helps a lot. So it's just kind of nice to have those options, because sometimes you may not want to do this raid per se, so you can just play him vanilla, because really you're looking to utilize the 2 fingers out, or you're looking to bounce back to go ahead and open a lane of damage. It's not necessarily always about control, right? Sometimes you just want to push back or disrupt someone else's gameplay to kind of stop them or stump them and trip them up. So but yeah, so moving along, we are going to be running the Nabaras here. We are running 4 of the 0 drops for the draw ditch. It's just kind of a no-brainer, right? What you're trying to do is get the Sukuna Fingers out and then either play them or get them discarded, right? So just being able to discard draw ditch, really nice. In most cases this is a free ditch, right? We also have, so this UG is kind of fun here. We have a UG that's the 3 energy 2 AP UG. It's kind of like a built-in semi-kill spell. He gets powered up by fingers. Once he gets to 3 fingers, then he's a kill spell for 3,500 or less. But anything less than 3, so like 2 or less, it's really just a 3,500 bounce back to hand. That's really helpful actually a lot of times, especially when playing like some Code Geass decks where you have a lot of those mechs that are 3,500 on your turn. It's perfect for them. You just bounce them right back to hand. Their base token is then sent to graveyard and you're good to go, right? So opens up whole lane for another damage. It's really nice. Moving right along, so the 3 energy Yuji, he's super nice because he does do the on your opponent's turn, he gains 1,000. So basically, as long as the finger's out on the wedding or graveyard, he becomes 4K on opponent's turn. It's really nice. I do understand a lot of times, yes, your 4Ks to 4Ks, but it's just a natural deterrent anyways, because not all the time you have that. And it's just nice to be able to have a couple that you can just block out real quick. Junpei, you will see here that we are playing Junpei. The reason why we're playing 2 of him is I've actually find, so there is a balance here. You can either go with the 2 Junpeis to get the when sideline draw a card, or you could do the Tashadas, I think. Takuma, this guy. You can do him, and then he's a trigger that's draw a card. So it really is more like your preference on that, though, because it's okay. Do you want to draw a card when you get a trigger here, or is it you're looking to draw a card on the sideline, so block him out and have a designated kind of like blocker? Because there's different ways to think about it. Obviously, kill spell, domain. We are running only 2 shrines. The main reason we're only running 2 is because it's not highly likely you're going to get all 4 Sukunas out on the front line. Also, keep in mind that he is 5k and impact once you have 2 out. He's vanilla, so realistically, this shrine is more for this guy than it is here, and I'll tell you why. So it's not because, oh well, you can give him damage too, or you can give him snipe. Now the snipe is really good, right? Like that's direct, boom, you're gonna kill him, you're gonna get an impact, get through. But until you get that 3rd finger, use the damage 2 here, because what this does is if you have both of them on the field, it's going to force your opponent to make a decision. You're either going to, 1, you're pretty much automatically going to take the impact damage, right? But if you do damage 2, then you're going to actually force them to block, because taking 1 is okay, but usually taking 2 is a little bit more reckless, so to speak, right? So it kind of forces that thought and kind of makes them, either potentially trips them up, or they go, oh, okay, yeah, and I'm gonna block out here to stop that, which is just the ideal target, reducing the board. So basically the strategy for this particular deck here is we want to get 2 fingers right in the sideline as quickly as possible. Basically, once we do this, the 4K Sukuna becomes 5K with impact, like I said, which is very, very reliable. That's what you're looking to do, right? It's really, really nice. Always use Junpei as a blocker. So if you get a chance, if you've got him on play, immediately try to block out with him, so that way you can use his draw effect. Because realistically, you just want to get as many fingers down as possible, get a couple shrines out, and then boom, you're going to go ahead and burst them down, right? So that's really what you're looking to do. The 5 energy Sukuna locks down opponent's frontline character until the next time they would become active. It's really nice for control. So one good tip or trick or fun aspect of the deck is by taking a Sukuna, raiding it, locking down another character on the front line, and then playing another Yuji, like the bounce back Yuji. So then not only have you locked one down until the next time you come resting, which is really helpful, you've also effectively bounced back another one potentially, which is also just going to help basically opening up 2 more lanes on the field. And both those cards are active, right? So then you come in with both of those, so you get 2 attackers. So if you can get the Yujis on the back line and do this, then you bring those 2 forward, you lock down, and you do a lot of control really fast, allowing a quick in, right? Super helpful with that shrine, because then if you can pop that shrine with that Sukuna, like I said, he's a vanilla, or he'll become a vanilla after that search effect. Boom, it's a really nice play. Makis, so there is a thought of, okay, do you run with 4 Makis or do you not, right? You could run with 2 Makis, you could run with 4 Junpei, you could run, even if you wanted to run 2 Makis, 2 Junpei, and then go ahead and run the 2 of this guy, the Takumas, you could as well, to have triggers. There's no necessarily wrong reason. The reason why I like Maki is, 1, it's draw 2 cards, take 1, ditch 1, right? So I kind of like that effect for 1. It's kind of nice. For 2, it's on opponent's turn. She gets boosted to the 3K, which is just helpful, right? And it's not that hard when you're running, you know, it's, what is this, 10 event cards to get 4 out. So, and actually, no, it's even more. Sorry, I forgot to kill spells, right? So it's 12, 14 out. It's not that hard to get her to a 3K on opponent's turn. So it's just kind of nice. So she makes for a good designated blocker. I'd love to have the, like, mentally, it helps me to know that if I have these certain cards on play, that I want to always use them as blockers. It helps make quicker decisions, so quicker gameplay. You know, just, once again, just trying to get tactical advantage, so to speak. All right, so let's go ahead and go into some deck swap modifications here. Like, so what we're going to be talking about and what we're really looking for. Also, be aware there is a actual ban. So there is a legit ban for card combinations. So you must be aware and respect that. So if we go to UA's official rules, you will see here that you cannot run both of these cards. So if you look down here, you can see exactly which ones you can run and which ones you can't. It'll lay them out here. Can't mix them up, be either one or the other. So we are going to run one, not the other. So with that being said, deck modifications here, like I was saying, if you're not too concerned, at least, with the fact that you don't get a trigger from this card and you have to use him as a blocker, you can run Takuma. Run him. This way you get at least a trigger on death, and it's still a 0. I do highly recommend that you run, you know, a good amount of zeros. You got to keep the nice cost associated. We'll go over the cost analysis in just a minute. The Kento variant, though, if you're going to run him, you're going to definitely want to take out 2 Nabaros and 2 of the whatever one of these you guys go. Just get rid of them, so you can put in 4 Kento, and that's because you're going to need the raid targets, right? So for example, for the 4 energy, I like to use the UG so that way I keep all the base target for raids here. I didn't want to divide it up with the Kento strategy. I do feel like the Kento strategy would be more reliable, especially if, let's say, you're not getting fingers. It's going to at least help you, because chances are if you're not getting fingers, you've done some filtering, which has allowed some more cards to go out of the, out into the sideline to help with getting the effects of the Kento. But yeah, so I like to run the UG. If you would like to run the Kento, I would recommend go ahead and swapping out the 2 of the color UGs and for 2 of the color Kentos, just for, once again, raid targets and semblance, because it's still helpful, right? Impact, when you have 15 cards or less in your deck, you still can get there. That's more late game strategy, but hey, having guaranteed impact come on board is always helpful. And then also just swapping out those 4 raid UGs for the Kento. Definitely want to do that as well, so that way you can really use this effect, right? And that's also why you're trying to get at least 6 of these, so that way you have raid targets once again. And if not, don't worry, play him vanilla. Just play him vanilla, it's fine. Don't ever hesitate to not play your raid cards because you don't have the base, because the second you do, that's usually the time you lose, because at that point they push too many attackers forward and start attacking you, and then you start taking too much life, banking you're going to get a raid or a base card, right? So always don't hesitate to play your raid cards. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to EX Burst here. So for example, let's talk about the energy requirements. So if we talk about the energy on this one, so you will see that we have 10 zeros and we have 7 ones. Which seems odd that I have 7 ones, but it's because, you know, we are running a split set of cards here. We're only running 3 of the Search Sukunas and 3 of the Nabaros. Now, I know a lot of people would say, well, why aren't you running 4 here? Personally, I just don't feel like the filtering is as needed, especially because I am doing Draw Ditch here. I'm running 3 of her because I'm always picking her usually back up and playing her back down. I'm getting enough to get at least 2 fingers out. That's my main goal. The other reason why we have the other ones here is because now, if I'm not worried about 5 energy, I can keep that energy line at a base cost of 4. When I do a base cost of 4, as you can see here, that's all of the deck other than 3 cards. And realistically, for up to 2 energy here, I'm able to play 21 playables. That's almost half the deck I can play off 2 energy alone. Once again, this is kind of why I feel like this deck performs very well and can hold its own both the beginning, middle, and late game, is because of the it's well balanced with the energy line. and overall just in plays. So you have a 4K blocker on opponent's turns. You have another bounce back card. It's not unusual to use to raid on a two action point Yuji. Use this ability, bounce back character into hand, go ahead and raid on top of him because he's going to come in rested, pop him back up with this Ryuji, bounce another card back to hand, and then just go from there, right? Like, once again, talking about 4 Holy Swords or any like Code Geass, for example, with the 3500 mechs and below, that's great because then you bounce them back and you're just getting rid of base targets left and right, and those decks really kind of struggle once you start getting rid of their base targets, right? So then you're just stuck with useless cards in hand. It's great. But yeah, so definitely enjoy that, and I like that it is very well balanced in that regard here. And we are looking at some pretty good triggers. We did go ahead and get all the standards right. We have the colors, finals, the specials, 41 triggers in total. Not too awful bad. All right, so going back to pamphlet here. So this is the deck play graphic. It's kind of like my little quick reminder. Basically, all these cards that you see here, these are your filterings. So you're filtering. Draw 2, ditch 1. Really helpful. Search the 5. Also super helpful. So he's not necessarily filtering, but he is allowing you to bounce back, which is very helpful. It can sometimes lead to other things as well. Maki, obviously you understand why she's in there. Board control here, realistically these two are really controlling the board. And the reason why I say that is, one, locking down until the next time they come active. Yuji, it's going to be a bounce back into hand, token goes into graveyard. Once again, opening up a lane. Both open up lanes, one locks one down, one opens one up. Definitely be aware you cannot play both of these in the same deck. We already talked about that in the ban lists. Obviously, so I'm not running this Yuji. Did think about it though, it would be cool, but I'm not going to. So you could always run this one and then run the 6-drop, which would technically, I guess, give you more raid targets. I don't know, but I didn't want to do that. You might try it yourself, see how you like it. Also, once again, Sukuna, always target him first with a shrine effect if you can. Best starting hand here. So we'll talk about starting hands. I do love that you can use this feature on EX Burst. I love coming over here, going literally draw starting hand, and then just playing it out, right? Mentally playing it out, going, okay, well, this would be, nope, no zeros here. We're gonna go ahead and molly. Okay, on this one, we got a Nabar, Navar. Okay, we're definitely golden here, right? So you go ahead and go and draw ditch, draw. Perfect. Play another 3. At this point, hopefully they played a card on there. You bounce that back to hand, or you do 2 AP, bounce it back again. You draw 1, 2, 3. We draw into a Sukuna, a shrine, another Sukuna. So from here, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then natural draw 3. Yeah. So this would be good. This particular hand would go super fast, and you'd already have 1 shrine come on board. So this would allow you to, let's see here, you'd be able to search another 5, which would give you another shrine, and then draw 2. So no more fingers yet, but you wouldn't be too far off before you'd actually start getting to see some more online. But yeah, I love coming over here and doing this because it is really nice. But yeah, in the flyer, I did go ahead and go through an example, guys, just like like that starting hand that I was just saying. Like, I got fascinated with it because it's very close to what you would want to see. So we have the Navarra here, right? Draw 1 ditch. Second turn, go second, draw ditch, and then if you can, pick her right back up. That's obviously what you want to do. You want to try to do this combo as much as possible. I shortcut it all the time. Shortcut, boom, draw ditch, done. Junpei, if you can play him the front line as soon as possible, just immediately do it. Just because, one, getting that early draw is really impactful, especially in this deck, because you want to filter as much as possible, and you have so many cards that allow you to draw and then ditch, right? You've got 8 cards that allow you to do a ditching function, and you only have 4 fingers. So you know what I mean? Like, so doing that extra draws as quickly as possible really helps you, because you're going to be able to have more targets to go ahead and ditch. Go second, same deal here. By turn 3, ideally, if you can utilize this guy by turn 3, whether he is bouncing back a quick card or a small card. Because if you notice, it says if you have one finger out, usually it's pretty quick to get one finger out. This allows you just to do a 3500 bounce back, which is just nice early game bounce back board control. So definitely try to utilize him as quickly as you can with that regard, or utilize the this 3 with 2 energy, because he is on your opponent's turn, comes to 4k, which is really helpful. But yeah, so that's going to go ahead and do it for the deck profile of this one. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear them. I'll have links to everything down below. Obviously, we'll have the Express link. We have this entire thing. I've got the PDF link to the Google Drive folder, so you guys will see the link in the description with in the description of the video with the Google Drive folder. And there, I have all of the deck profiles I've made so far. I think we're up to 3, and I should have 4 or 5 up pretty quickly. And we'll have them in there quicker than we actually will have videos. So definitely check them out if you enjoy this content, and also make sure to like and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.